This episode was brought to you by Slate Black Industries. For M-LOK grips and accessories, visit slateBlackIndustries.com. Now, if you're not a fan of the Fallout series of video games, or you just don't know what it is, that's fine. The next 10 minutes, however, is going to look like it was from the results of me doing some substances. That's okay. Skip to this timestamp right here, and we'll explain it a little more. What this is also is an issuance of a remote challenge for you guys. So enjoy it. We'll see you at the end of this. NCR military recruiting officers and personnel, listen up. We've got a real demand for troops out here in the Mojave front lines, and we need every able body that we can find into the field. Capable bodies. Now, Hires approved a new program to fast-track your more capable wastelanders, survivalists, and gunslingers into our ranks. This program is called the Advanced Recruit Selection and Evaluation, aka the ARSE for short. Who the fuck comes up with these acronyms? The Colonel. Okay, yep, I'm good. Now, the ARSE course has an entry test. The ARSE entry test, aka the Wasteland Shuffle. The ARSE entry test is something that you may do by yourself, or with your unit, with just a single mini IPSTIC steel target and a 100-meter range. Now, there are two options for your new recruits to go towards, and the loadout for the ARSE entry test depends on which unit they would like to join. Now, if the recruit is trying out for the 1st Recon Battalion sharpshooters, they will run this test with a full-power bolt-action pre-war surplus or hunting rifle with a 4-power or lower magnification scope and a .22 pistol, preferably silenced, but it's okay if it's not. If the recruit is trying out for the regular army, they will run this test with an iron-sighted Kalashnikov in 7.62 by 39 type semi-automatic rifle. Now, this is a survivalist's favorite, and our demonstration here is done with a Chinese Type 56 assault rifle, which is not our service rifle, but we've been seeing a lot more of these in the Mojave. The Wasteland Shuffle can be set up at any 100-meter or 100-yard location with just a single mini IPSTIC steel target. Now, this is a timed event. The faster they hit the targets, the better, but they will take a 5-second penalty every miss, meaning every single time they fail to strike the target, they will have 5 seconds added to their final time. Now, there are two phases to the Wasteland Shuffle. Phase 1 is at 100 meters, shot between two stations that are 10 meters apart from each other. For the 1st Recon Battalion recruits who are using their choice of a bolt-action hunting or surplus rifle and a .22 pistol, the objective to the sharpshooter recruit's loadout is to hit the target at the 100-meter or Phase 1 line with all 8 shots with no misses. The recruit will drop prone and fire no more than 2 shots at each station prior to displacing. They must attempt every shot. If there are no misses, they are done. If there are any misses, the recruit will run down to the 15-meter Phase 2 line and shoot all 10 rounds into the target with their .22 pistol. Remember, each miss adds 5 seconds to their final score. For the regular Army recruits using the pre-war 7.62 Kalashnikov rifle of their choice and only iron sights, the objective for the infantry recruit's loadout is to hit the target at Phase 1, the 100-meter line, with all 12 shots with no misses. The recruit will drop prone and fire no more than 3 shots at each station prior to displacing. They must attempt every shot. If there are no misses, they are done. If there are any misses, they will run down range to 50 meters, reload, and fire 3 rounds from each station, freestyle, until they have acquired all 12 hits. Remember, each miss adds 5 seconds to the final score. This particular test rewards marksmanship, but also physical fitness. And it can be a good guideline for our ARSE assessment. We want troops who know how to use equipment that we have access to in the field. That means limited scopes and iron sights, since you can't get any batteries in this post-apocalyptic wasteland. Now, between you and I, if they want some type of recruitment bonus, just tell them that at the end of the day, they can have their extra caps from their enlistment bonus when they finish their 4 years of service. Yeah, these guys are going to Forlorn Hope anyways, right? Yeah, so they're not going to last. Yeah, I don't care what they promise them. Yeah, as long as they sign the dotted lines. Yeah, agreed. Good luck, and I wish you all the best in recruiting the brightest gunslingers for the NCR. Take care of yourself, and kick some arse. Thank you for sitting through this informational video. Stand by for the ARSE entry test, the Wasteland Shuffle demonstration. God damn it, I hate this place. The second part, we'll talk about the Wasteland Shuffle remote challenge that we are issuing you. Kind of what Fallout is. We won't go into great length, but I'll link you to a video that I personally think did a pretty good job. We'll talk about also... something that I think is pretty cool. Maybe you don't, maybe you do. Sort of what are the pieces of equipment that I use to make that wardrobe? Because I didn't go out and buy any of these things. Well, I did. I bought them. They're mine. I bought them. But I didn't specifically go out to buy this to make a video. Outside of... Obviously, I bought the Coca-Cola because it's a consumable. Anyways. The Wasteland Shuffle. Now, if you watched all this and you're still kind of like, it's kind of weird, video games are stupid, what this really boils down to are the classic survivalist items. Military surplus bolt-action rifle shooting or chambered in a very popular common military cartridge with a low-powered scope, with a suppressed .22 pistol, or a Kalashnikov in 7.62x39 with iron sights. All three of these items are very, very classic survivalist choices that we've all debated through the years. How does this come in play? The Wasteland Shuffle is a challenge that we are issuing to you. That's right, you can do your own Wasteland Shuffle at home. In fact, we encourage you to do that, record it, and put it online to Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, and then also send us an email so we know. Remember to hashtag these things to hashtag Fallout and hashtag Wasteland Shuffle. And then when you email us, send an email to, let me get this right, info@inrange.tv or 9holereviews@gmail.com, and make sure that you don't send the actual video because it's not going to come through in a massive video. Make sure you send the link to the video and make sure you title the email WLS sub. That is Whiskey Lima Sierra sub, as in submarine submission. So we look forward to what you come up with. The Wasteland Shuffle is going to be a stage in the upcoming 2-gun action challenge match that InRange puts on every month. But after that, when they get all the footage of people doing the Wasteland Shuffle and we get some of your submissions and use it at our upcoming Pick 1 episode of this combination of the bolt-action rifle with a low-powered scope and a suppressed .22 pistol, or a Kalashnikov rifle in an end-of-the-world apocalyptic Fallout scenario. And that's going to be the Pick 1 that we have Carl on after their 2-gun action challenge match. So we look forward to your submissions. Now, the Fallout series was based on an alternate history timeline where the US went towards and really embraced fission power and nuclear power in the 50s. And that's the divergence. So that's the changing point from our current timeline. Superconductors were never made, so everything still uses vacuum tubes and then analog technology, even though everything is also nuclear powered. Now, unfortunately, in this alternate timeline, the world had fallen into a massive world war. Europe, the Middle East, China, America had all been engulfed in massive war up until the point where America and China launched nukes at each other and destroyed the world multiple times over. So Fallout, as far as the multiple series of video games, focuses on the timeline after the Great War, after the nuclear war took place. And after, hence Fallout, it's after the nuclear winter, the nuclear fallout, and people were emerging back to the surface of the world. Either you were in Fallout shelters and escaped it, or you were always on the shelter and lived through the nuclear winter. Now, multiple games span the history, the lore of this, but the biggest thing is mankind started building factions again. The world had a lot of old world technology floating around and also new world technology. And thus is the Fallout universe. Now, I am not doing this justice with my limited amount of time here, so I'm going to go ahead and link it to a video that I think does a whole lot better at describing what's going on. And I'm going to have it up here, down in the description, and I'm also going to have it at the end of this video, so you can go ahead and click on the video from Alternate History Hub to learn about the world of Fallout. Anyways, so this final part's really a little bit more looser. Basically all the props here, I didn't go out and buy any of it specifically for the video. I mean, I bought everything or traded for it, but I didn't necessarily go out to buy something to use as a prop for the video. And they're all interesting to me. So I was going to break down all the different parts of things that we used in the video and kind of just talk about what it actually is. So first we could look at the Recon Battalion Sharpshooter outfit. They're most known for their red or maroon berets. Now in the future, obviously, in the Fallout lore, they don't have any planes unless you're a boomer. So maroon does not stand for paratroopers. But I did trade this from an Austrian paratrooper from the Fallschirmjäger Battalion in Austria. And interesting, if you look at the emblem, you see the Austrian eagle that has a hammer and a sickle that's industry workers and farmers. And the crown, I believe, is like a castle, and that's like the middle-class bourgeois. And then it's got a broken chain, and that chain actually represents them being free from German occupation. Interesting. The Mosinagant is a garbage rod that I have absolutely fallen for in the last year. It's hard to say. It's not the best rifle, but it's available. It always works. At this point, I sort of know where the trigger breaks. I know how it feels. I'm able to run it fairly smoothly. It's full of nicks. It's full of dings. The barrel bands, the butt pad is just entirely corroded. It's nasty looking, but it works very well. I don't know. It speaks to me. It's a rifle that I think I'm going to redo the practical accuracy episode for the Mosin PU sniper with, because this scope actually works on it. We've done a video on the Suppress 22 Mark IV pistol. I think in game in New Vegas, the one they have is integrally suppressed. But yes, I do think these are very useful, especially 22 caliber ammunition being easily stowed away, easily packed away. The one issue from the survivalist perspective, if you're talking about multiple decades of storage of 22 ammunition, just sealing is the cartridge sealed well enough? Is the primer compound going to go bad? But that's beside the point. Now, if we look at the infantry character, they had a green beret, which this particular one I traded from a Norwegian sergeant, and you could see it's got the Harold V emblem on it. And that was the closest I could find that sort of looked like what the NCR officer's beret looks like. On the other hand, the NCR used the M16 service rifle. It's not called the M16, but that's what it is. It's got wood furniture, however. The Chinese Type 56 is nowhere in the franchise. However, sort of, the Chinese assault rifle is mostly found on the East Coast, but it's supposed to be in 5.56. Now, clearly in the pictures of the Chinese assault rifle there, it is a 7.62 by 39 magazine, much like that. And in fact, these magazines, you can use them to easily pop open bottle caps. So if you are in the wasteland and you do find a bottle of Nuka-Cola that you do need to quench your thirst or get the extra health points, go ahead and use your magazine and pop it off. However, I think the Israelis, they felt that their soldiers were destroying their Galil magazines, so they put a bottle cap opener on the bottle of the rifle. I do think that the Chinese Type 56 could be in the game as a very rugged and durable rifle, especially 7.62 by 3.9. The barrels, they last for a long time, especially a quality chrome line hammer forged 7.62 3.9 barrel. There's not really much more to the infantry soldier. Going more towards the main video, you'll see me dressed up as Captain Chan, the NCR officer. The captain bars that I wore on my lapel, those are real. Those come from my overcoat. As you see right here, these are the actual ones I pulled off and pinned onto the lapel. The wheel cap right here, I received this from a Czech lieutenant colonel, and you could see this is actually during communism. This was the Czech wheel cap because you can still see the little star on the top of it. The radio set, if you came from InRange TV, you'll see me using the radio set to send out the signal. This is actually a case to a set of Polish night vision goggles, the PNB57. So I could tell everybody out there that I am in fact an owner of a very lavish set of dual tube night vision goggles. The pistol that I used was Smith & Wesson K-frame that's on an Aviator's M3 shoulder holster. You want to keep that, useful in the future. The revolver looks like a Victory model from far out. I mean, Victory model's just a normal K-frame 38 special revolver, but this particular one is marked RHKP, which is a Royal Hong Kong Police model. This actually means something to me because in Hong Kong it's very difficult, not borderline impossible to get a firearms license, or cost prohibitive to get a firearms license. So the only firearms you would really see around in Hong Kong are the ones on the hips of the police officers or the MP5s that the ASU uses. So now that I have one of their issue weapons, they can suck it. That's really it. I must emphasize that this is a video to issue the challenge for you to do the Wasteland Shuffle on. I'm actually very excited to see what you come up with, because all you need is a steel target or a reactive target that is smaller than a C-zone steel target or equal to a C-zone steel target and 100-yard range that you can run back and forth on. Right? Remember, posting your videos on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, and use hashtag Fallout and hashtag Wasteland Shuffle to ping us, and make sure to ping us on info@inrange.tv and 9holereviews@gmail.com to send us the URL to your particular video, and make sure that the title is WLS sub. Now, the 2-gun action challenge match will take place in mid-May, and our pick one video that we will show potentially your video will be taking place maybe a few weeks after that. So appreciate you tuning in. I'm super excited to see what you come up with. And until then, we shall see you on the range.
Okay.